welcome to On Stage with Peter Pan, a musical adventure. I'm your host, Erin Boni, and we're here to promote the fourth, I can't believe it already, the fourth show of the 2026 summer season at South Park Children's Theater. Today I have several guests I will interview for this production, which will appear from July 20th to the 29th. The outdoor stage is a unique experience because family and friends can bring camping chairs and blankets to sit on the green. There are no bad seats. There's a concession stand with both drinks and snacks available, and no show is longer than 90 minutes with intermission. Also, prior to the show, the actors come out into the audience in character to interact with the patrons. And honestly, that's my favorite part. So first up, I have Reese, Julie, and Maya. Welcome. Thanks so much for being here. Yay. All right, so I'm going to start with Reese, but can you please tell me about your character in the show?
Wendy, I would say she is a very caring older sister. She wants to make sure that John and Michael are always prim and proper, always doing the right thing, wants them to be brave, but also wants them to be respectable and whatnot too. There's a lot of words.
I could see you in that part. That's so great.
I could use to describe her, but there's a lot.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. Julie.
Peter Pan, he's a young boy. He's always like playful, energetic, but he's also very caring for his friends, and he's a natural leader. He's always ready to fight pirates and stuff.
Okay, so you get to fight some pirates, which is awesome. Okay, wonderful. Maya, what about you?
Michael is the youngest of the three darling children. He is very excited to go to Neverland when Peter gives him a chance. And he just likes to do really whatever John does. And he loves adventures a lot too.
That's awesome. Oh, I love it. So it has been a while since I've seen Peter Pan. So tell me what you find most interesting about this particular show.
That's hard to say. There's a lot of different components that come together to create a show like this. Like if we're talking about like the outwards appearance, like this is an outdoor stage. This is something that like I've never been on before. So that has been something that has been interesting to work on, something to grow with that. But I would say the characters, like there's so many different kinds of characters here, each with a different part in the show that really makes it come together as a cohesive piece.
Very nice. So Julie, tell me what what you find most interesting, but also what's a little different, because as we know, the South Park Theater shows are often a little spoof off of some of the original nursery rhymes or Disney shows or things like that.
So like Peter Pan, everyone knows like the storyline, but our show has like its own spin to it. Like there's different characters in the show, different like scenes, people say different stuff, and I think that's what makes our show very special.
Very different. Mm-hmm. So Maya, tell me, is this, I'm trying to think, is singing something that you like doing? Because it's obviously a musical adventure here. Is that something that drew you to want to be a part of Peter Pan?
I really, really love to sing. So I thought that this would be like one of the perfect shows that I would be doing. And I also think it's really interesting because it's like different songs than you'd know for Peter Pan.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Oh, I love this idea. So a musical part of it may be a little bit different. So talk to me though, usually with music comes choreography. So good, bad, to go along with interesting, I guess maybe what can be challenging about a musical in addition to, with choreography and things, as addition to it, different from a play.
Oh my goodness. I would say the biggest thing for me has been the singing. Like I love to sing. I used to do choir and whatnot, but I was never really like, I guess I would say like professionally
trained.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So that has been a challenge trying to like get the techniques down, what I can do for that.
Right.
But yeah, I'd say that was my biggest thing.
Okay. So talk to me about singing. Yeah. So and choreography, I guess, with the musical.
I love to sing, and it's like very hard to sing, and like you can't like look at your feet. You just gotta like dance through it, and I just like singing. So.
And trust that you're not gonna trip over anything.
Yeah.
Right? Or like my own feet. That's what I would probably do. Yeah, trying to sing at the same time. So Maya, you already talked about how much you love to sing. Is this? I'm gonna kind of switch my gears here a little bit. What show is this for you at South Park Theater? Is this the first time? Is this like the fifth time? How long have you been involved?
This is the first time doing like a full out musical. I've done like 2 or 3 mini like skits here.
Oh,
Never a
good.
full-on musical.
Okay.
And it's a really fun experience. I really like it.
Yeah.
I get to meet so many new people from so many different schools, and it's just super fun.
Good. So I am going to start then with you and work my way backwards. Talk to me about what grade you're in and what school you go to, because one of the things that I like to, share with parents and the audience is that, there's just usually a big grouping of ages and kids from all over that come and participate.
I'm going into 4th grade, and I go to Myrtle Avenue Elementary
Okay.
in the Keystone Oaks district.
Keystone Oaks, good, because I would not have known where that was. That's wonderful. KO, I'm trying to think how many kids we've had from that area, so that's good. You're representing. Julie.
So I'm going into 7th grade. I go to Baldwin Whitehall Middle School, and I'm 12 years old.
All right. Awesome.
I just graduated from Bethel Park High School.
That's right. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. See, that's how I knew your face when you walked in. I was like, wait a minute, I know this face from somewhere. So that's wonderful. Oh, I love it. Okay. So then let me start with Reese. And I'm going to say, can you guys give me a plug for why we should come see Peter Pan, the musical?
Give you a plug. Oh my goodness. It is a very fun musical. There are so many things that really make up the show. I know I've been saying this the entire time, but like just with the characters, the music, the choreography, all of that comes together, and it's on an outdoor stage. What is there not to love?
What else want to do on a summer morning or evening? That's
Exactly,
right.
yeah.
Julie?
I think you should come see Peter Pan because all the singing, dancing, and all like the work we put in, I think it's just really fun to see, and it's not too long, so that's good about
So
children's
it's good
theater.
for the children's theater, right? Exactly. Got to keep everybody's attention, especially in the outside when they, want to run around in the green a little bit. And Maya, why should we come see the show?
It's really fun, and it's not exactly like probably any Peter Pan you've ever seen before. So it's giving you something new, like a new way to look at it. And that all the actors, they're really good at acting, singing, dancing, and it's also so fun to learn, so I'm guessing it would be really fun to watch too.
Awesome. Well, good. Thank you guys so much for being here with me
Thank
today.
you.
Of course, thank you.
I appreciate it. All right, and my audience, please stay tuned. We're going to come back with a couple more actors from Peter Pan, a Musical Adventure. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I have 2 more actors from the show, Spencer and Ryan, with me to talk about Peter Pan, a Musical Adventure. Thank you guys so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So I'm first going to ask about your character in the show. Spencer?
I play Captain Hook in the musical, and I love playing Captain Hook because I feel like he's such a expressive character, and he has so much emotion, and he always seems like he's very powerful and confident in himself, but secretly he's just a little shy, and he has some fear in Peter Pan and the crocodile, of course.
Of course, right. Absolutely. So do you get to wear like a big curly wig, or are we just kind of going with the mustache?
Well, I haven't gotten my costume yet.
Okay.
But I think we're probably going to do like a hat, of course. Probably a mustache. And if you can't do a mustache, I can obviously bring one.
Right. That's right, and check it out. I love it. Awesome. Ryan, who's your character?
So I play Smee, and a lot of people don't really realize how complex he is actually. Like, a lot of people think he's just a bit of an oaf, but he isn't. No. He's really intelligent, I think. Mm-hmm. And he's so loyal to Captain Hook that it kind of makes him a little dangerous.
All right, very good. Yes, and he is really the brains behind Captain Hook, right?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. Like, Captain Hook, I have to give him his flowers. He's really smart.
Okay.
But Smee he's capable on his own, too.
All
People
right.
just don't really realize that.
Just don't really realize. So you're going to bring that news to them. I love it.
Hopefully.
That's awesome. All right, can you tell me what you find most fun or interesting about this particular show?
I love that this show is outside because it's something that I've never done before. I've always played in my like school plays and musicals and things like that, but I've never gotten the chance to do outside theater. So I'm really glad to experience something new and try out my acting ability in like a different scenario. And I love all the people here. It's very nice and supportive.
Awesome. Great job. Ryan, what do you find most interesting or challenging about
Well,
Peter Pan, a musical?
I get a big sword, and that makes me really happy. So I've never had a sword before in a play.
Okay.
I'm really happy to have that sword. So yeah, that's the most interesting thing, honestly.
All right, and making the props. I love it. That is awesome. So talk to me, as I had spoken with the other actors, you know, is this, obviously I'm getting the vibe this might be your first experience at South Park Theater, but also tell me, you know, how long you've been with South Park, what school you go to, and how old you are. Again, we're just kind of getting like, you know, the different age ranges, the different school districts that people come from. So Spencer?
I am in I'm going into my sophomore year at Baldwin High School.
Nice.
And this is my first year at South Park Theater.
What has your experience been like? I mean, you said that it was very welcoming and accepting and things like that. But talk to me about, have you performed other places other than maybe school? Have you gone to other theaters or things, or is this just kind of like your first breaking out beyond school?
This is my first breaking out beyond school, but I've always wanted to do more outside of school as well. Usually during the summer, I haven't really thought about going, like, you know, experiencing other things, but I joined South Park Theater because my friends from school did it. I knew that. So I really wanted to do that as well. And I realized that I really like doing theater outside of just school. So next summer, I'm hoping to branch out even more and try new different things. Like I was offered this opportunity to, I wasn't able to fill it, unfortunately, but I was offered the opportunity to perform a musical with a stage that was kind of in a horseshoe shape. So the back, there was no audience, but everywhere around there was audience. So you kind of had to, you know, because you can't face your back towards the audience. So you had to, it was like a completely different experience. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that. But I'm hoping to do more things like that as well and branch out completely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, also being on the outdoor stage, you're kind of on all the time, right? There's not like, there's no real curtain closing and things like that. So you have to kind of mimic what your character's doing, even if they're not the actual direct, you know what I mean, spot of what's happening. So I bet that's really helped your acting as well. So.
Yes, and you know, because there's no specific seats, like there's no seats in there. So people are like all over the premise, and they can kind of see back in the backstage a little bit.
So you gotta be
kind
careful.
of have to like act while you're backstage as well.
Right, because you can be seen from the wings. That's right. So Ryan, what do you find, you know, I guess particularly, you know, challenging or different or interesting about this show?
Let's see. For me, it's got to be singing, because I don't really sing that much. I haven't done a musical in 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like a challenge though, and singing for me is a little challenging, so I appreciate it.
Good.
And I'm going to like try and strive to do the best I can.
No, that's great.
With singing,
Yeah, and what grade are you going into, and what school district do you come from?
So I'm going into 12th grade, and I at TJ. Yeah.
Awesome. And then you've been in South Park productions for a while.
I've been here since 2018.
Okay.
This is my 11th play and also my last play, so it's kind of
a little sad.
Yeah.
But exciting. We're going out as Shmi, right? So it's good stuff.
What better way than do that?
That's right, than to do that with a sword. I mean,
yeah,
like
a big sword.
Yeah, like you can't get any
awesome
better than
sword.
that. I love it. Oh, that's awesome. All right, so tell me in a sentence or two, why should we come see Peter Pan, a musical adventure? I was going to say experience, but adventure.
Well, Peter Pan is such a fun musical, and there's a lot of character and so much like creativity and joy in it. And I mean, seeing like all the it is like still like children's theater, so it you see all the little kids and their opportunities for acting and everything, and it's just fun. It's so nice. My parents used to take me to the shows whenever I was a little kid, and I always liked them. So I think it's just a really nice opportunity for children and adults too, to like see what's going on in the musicals and plays.
Wonderful. Ryan, why should we come see?
In my opinion, Peter Pan, A Musical Adventure is the greatest musical South Park Theater has ever put on. Children's theater.
All right. So something for everyone, the young ones, the old ones, and a sword for you guys on stage. So that sounds really good. Well, thank you guys so much for being here with me today and discussing.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. So, and to our audience, stay tuned, because when we come back, we are going to talk with the director. Welcome back. So I am here with director Amanda. We're going to talk a little bit more specifically about the behind the scenes of Peter Pan, A Musical Adventure. Welcome, Amanda. Thanks for being here today. Absolutely. So we were talking a little bit off camera, but tell me, how are auditions going so far? It's
rehearsals?
been rehearsals. Yes, sorry, not auditions.
Auditions went well.
No, auditions went well. We got everybody. Rehearsals. Yes.
Yeah, they're going well. Busy, busy, busy. We just had our first rehearsal actually on the outdoor stage, right? So that's a little different than rehearsing in little air-conditioned spaces. So the heat has been brutal, as we know here in Pittsburgh. So that's been one of the hardest parts. Otherwise, the cast has always been a pleasure to work with. So
yeah, you mentioned that this is one of your larger casts that you've
yeah,
had.
26 kiddos and young adults.
Yes, young adults, yes. And can you tell me, more for the audience than for me, the age group of, like, who's your youngest and your oldest?
Yeah, I'm almost positive our Tinkerbell is 6 or 7.
Okay.
And then our Wendy is 17.
Yeah.
So quite literally the whole age range.
The whole age range.
They take care of
everybody
each
in
other though. They're very respectful.
Which is really nice. And again, you know, I had mentioned to the kids, you know, in the prior interviews that being from other, not just other schools, but being other age groups, you know, they really, you know, take care of each other. It's nice for them to befriend kids that they would never necessarily be friends with, right? Unless they had siblings that age, or that doesn't make you a friend, but makes you that makes you have to be a friend, sibling kind of thing.
That's what theater's for.
That's right. So have you always directed musicals primarily, and what makes a musical a little more challenging and or fun to direct?
Yeah, so I've directed plays and musicals for sure. Musicals in general are, I would say, obviously harder because there's a lot more components. It's not just stage directions, but I get to do work with a lovely choreographer, a lovely music director, and they take charge of those, which is good because that's where I falter a little. I do like to sing myself, but of course it's nice to have professionals doing the choreography, so I can do like character movement, that's it. So everything else is fun. Yeah, I would say it's a little more challenging for musicals especially, just to put all 3 components together. For instance, tonight we're doing just music and choreography rehearsal, just so that they can come in and that's their specialty to work on. So
I would imagine too, you know, in addition to having like a stage manager, you know, having those additional people, then you can break into groups a little bit more when you have a larger group like that. That was what always amazed me. And you know, I'm a teacher, but I teach all high school kids, right? And so it's a different vibe. But having 26 kids all outside, all trying to coordinate what they're doing, having some extra hands, I think would probably be super beneficial. Because telling a group to go over and do this and go over and do that doesn't mean it's really going to happen unless there's somebody in charge. That's awesome. So tell me, what do you love about directing? How did you get started at South Park Theater? And again, what do you love most about directing?
Yeah, sure. Well, I started directing actually at 17 to gain my gold award for Girl Scouts. And then I did a focus in directing throughout college, and the amazing, incredible Emily Lawrence, who runs the children's theater there, she also went to the same college as me. So she brought me on in 2018, I believe. And I've been doing shows there ever since, just because South Park Theater, I've worked at many a theater, but this one just feels like home, away from home. Everyone is just so sweet and darling there, and I think it's a great place for kids and young adults to start. It's just such a welcoming presence, the theater itself. So
and I think too that's, you know, I remember, I think it might have been Sandy or you know, it said to the kids at the beginning, you know, it's, you know, we are going to learn a lot about acting here, but the most important thing is that we have fun and make friends.
Absolutely.
You know, and I think that sets the tone, right, for
amount
everything.
Of growth and development that kids have just going through art, and in this art form theater, incredible. It really is. I love to be a part of it. I really do.
That's awesome. Good stuff. And so then it's time for the pitch. You know, why? I know. So we have to think about this, right? We give really a lot of thought. But why should we come see Peter Pan, A Musical Adventure? What makes it different from I guess, regular Peter Pan or Disney Peter Pan, that we should come and see South Park's version of Peter Pan.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, back in 2020, when no other theaters were open because of COVID, I did Peter Pan then, but it was just the play, right?
Okay.
So adding the musical components, adding the choreography, and even little Maya, who plays Michael, was mentioning that it is a lot different than the normal Peter Pan you've seen. They add in a lot of quirky characters, a lot of quirky songs, right? There's even a song called Manners where we see the Lost Boys attempting to learn manners.
That's hilarious.
In order to, gain a mother, essentially, when they go back from Neverland. So there's a lot of different songs in it that you see the characters more in depth because of that.
Okay.
Otherwise, you just see like the outward appearance like you'd see in the play. So.
Right.
That's my pitch. It's a lot
wonderful.
more than just the regular Peter Pan.
No, that's great. And I think a friend of mine's son was in the 2020 Peter Pan.
that
Did
was
you guys
me.
still mask too?
Yes.
Yeah,
It
you
was
had
so
to,
funny.
even though you were outside.
Yes.
So it's like
We had
rah, rah,
Pittsburgh
rah, rah.
pirate masks
Oh,
for the
that's
pirates.
cute. That's really
And then
cute.
Hook had just like a nude color and then a huge mustache. It was wonderful.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
fabulous. We learned how to, work a lot of things around, but the outdoor
Yeah.
stage was definitely beneficial, not just for fun, but at that time
Having
very
it during
practical.
COVID, yeah.
Right.
Everything else was closed, so it's a nice
Super.
area for everyone to come.
Well, that's awesome. So, well, thank you so much for being here
Thank
with me
you.
today,
Oh, this
Amanda.
was so nice. Thanks for
So
having me.
that is awesome. So, and to our audience, please come see Peter Pan, a musical adventure, at the outdoor stage at South Park Children's Theater, July 20th through the 29th. Shows are Monday at 6:30 p.m., Tuesdays at 10 a.m. and 6:30 p.m., and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Over the 2 weeks, you'll have 8 chances to see the show, so come out, bring a chair or blanket, and come see Peter Pan as you have never seen it before. Thank you so much for being with us at On Stage.